Live! Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's another episode of Venture Maidens. Oh my goodness, we have some big things for you. Oh, first of all, if you are looking at the screen right now, you already know. But if you're listening, you haven't yet. So we're going to tell you the worst kept secret of Venture Maidens. We said goodbye to our darling Katie last episode, but now it's time to introduce our new maiden joining us. Everybody say hello, Brittany Quintero.
Hey!
Brittany.
Hello.
Yes, speak so the people at home who have only listened to Favors so far learn your voice.
I'm back, bitches.
Yeah, baby.
You missed the first part. It was one of the beginning of the Maidens, and I have come back.
Yes.
Couldn't stay away.
Yes. So the wheel of fate turns in strange and mysterious ways. And as Katie has had to step away from the show, just in time, Brittany is able to rejoin us. So this crew you see here, it was destined. It was fate stepping in, doing us all a favor to bring us back to you. So welcome back, Brittany. We are so excited to see you and obviously to meet your new character.
Oh, I'm excited too. It just feels right. It feels
right. I'm so thrilled. I'm so thrilled to see how this story is going to turn, because we are officially also halfway through the Favor campaign. We have wrapped up 2 of the 4 big seasons arcs that we have planned for this campaign. So that means this is officially the first episode of the autumn arc. I've said it loud, I've said it proud. Autumn is my favorite season. The leaves are changing. Things are ready to be plucked from the ground. The chill of winter is starting to whisper in the air. But, yeah, we'll get to that.
Well, that's appropriate. Winter's my favorite season, so I feel like I'm showing up. Really?
What?
Oh, I didn't know that. What's everybody's favorite season?
Autumn is the best season.
Spring.
What?
Spring. Real life we are currently in.
I love how for none of us it's summer. So
yeah, fuck summer.
Fuck out of here.
Summer can fuck right.
Summer can fuck right off. Goodbye. Welcome, autumn.
We all like cooler temperatures.
Thank fucking goodness. We're here. But yeah, all right. Let me tell you about this goddamn show, and then we'll do some intros, and we'll start the action. So hey, everybody, this is Venture Maidens. We are an actual play stream that converts to a podcast. Now, officially, formally, we are playing Tales of the Valiant, which is our new RPG system from Kobold Press that is 100% compatible and familiar to those of you who play D&D 5th edition. But in the break between seasons, we have actually redone all of our characters completely to use the Tales of the Valiant rule set. So as we play and introduce these characters, a lot of this is going to be super duper familiar to D&D players, but we've got some new tricks in the bag. So we are going to be doing our best to, whenever we hit a new mechanic or a new character thing, like, talk about it a little so you know what the heck is going on. We got some fun surprises in store. Brittany was saying she thinks she's too powerful, with her new characters. So I'm excited to test that, because we also made the monsters a lot harder in TOV. So get ready. But yeah, also to say, this is a very adult-themed show. We swear a fucking lot. And then also we do just keep up a general content warning for graphic fantasy violence, body horror, just because, descriptions can get a little juicy. I don't anticipate any other content warnings for this episode, but you never know what comes up in play, so make sure to check the chat if you're watching, or the podcast show notes if you're listening, just to make sure we're not adding any new content warnings that might, upset you. But yeah, that's the business. Oh my god, let's see if we can get the intro order right. I always mess it up, but let's start. Okay, hey everybody, my name is Celeste Konowich, and tonight I will be your game master.
And I am Brittany Quintero. I'm going to be playing Morana, your eldrin cleric.
Yeah.
Had to pause.
And I'm Nassim, and I'm playing your orc fighter and budding druid, Tony Silvertail.
And I'm Sage, and tonight I will be Aoife Flannery, your scintillating satyr bard.
Ooh, scintillating. Oh, I dig it. I dig it. Also, Nassim, officially now in the overlay, it says fighter/druid. So you're holding down our multi-class rep. Now we all know what a leafy babe you are. But yeah, that's the crew, man. We're not going to do a recap because we're in a new season, a wildly new season. So much shit happened last time, and we're going to touch a little bit on it in the course of this episode as we get into things. But most importantly, Brittany, something we've introduced in this campaign is pretty much every episode we try to incorporate a little something special, a little extra measure of storytelling. We try to introduce a dream, a vision, like a past memory, typically, or we read a letter. And dear Morana, as we introduce you, we are starting this episode with a dream. So, as we begin, you see darkness all around you. I think it's a slow realization that comes over you because you've been in darkness for quite some time. That much is certain to you as the concept floats in the back of your mind, and slowly you're introduced to other concepts like breath and cold. And as these things are drifting across your mind, becoming more solid and more real, you realize that these things have been gone from you for quite some time. And here you are still in the darkness, but it feels like you're waking up. And as you do so, the blurriness in your vision, in your mind, sort of becomes more clear. And you hear the sounds of water all around you, like a flowing river. And you realize your body, yes, a body, you remember that, feels like it's being rocked back and forth as you find yourself seated in a boat. A long boat, gently swaying, and you hear the sound of oars dipping into the water that flow. And wherever you are, it is chilly. But as your gaze looks around, you see black stone, like you're in some kind of huge cavern, drifting on this underground river. Off to the left and to the right of you, you can see desolate fields of gray, with like these heavy mists that sort of obscure everything beyond it. And every once in a while, you see creatures wandering through the mists, sort of aimless individuals, shadowy people. Somehow the word shade comes to your mind. These are shades drifting aimlessly. You're not entirely sure how you know that, but you know it. And as your vision, drifts back in that weird way in a dream, it does, right? Where it kind of controls where you look as these things, these concepts are coming to you. You see the black-robed figure that is at the front of this long boat, dipping its oars into the water peacefully, one at a time, as you drift along this river. And the words begin to come back to you. The memory of a figure, a great and terrible, yet beautiful figure, sitting on a throne, black throne of bones. But you can't see their face. It's completely obscured in shadow, but somehow you know this person is very important to you. And the words burn in your mind, brighter and clearer than anything so far you have experienced. You may yet prove your worth, little shade. Return to the world. Be born again, so you may honor your promise. Find what was lost. Repair what is broken. Bring peace to the living, and restore balance to the realms of the dead. And do so in my name. You must succeed, little shade. You will not receive another chance. And these words, the words that are what you are, the words that have brought you here, stick in your mind and echo that deep, resinous voice as you're trying to peer through the darkness to remember the face of that man who spoke them to you. But before you can do anything, the world is black once again, and it's different this time. You feel yourself wake, but still completely in darkness. We see, like the camera as we're drifting over, you. What you currently look like, but you're somewhere small. You realize quite quickly that you're encased in stone. What do we see, like, as the camera is, looking down at Marana?
I need a clarification. Encased in stone in what way?
Like you're in a coffin, like a sarcophagus.
I hate that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, content warning, probably should have added confined spaces.
In real life, Brittany is extremely claustrophobic, but I am comfortable role-playing this because I think sometimes those things can make for a really good...
Yeah, and it's jarring. I mean, nobody wants to wake up with that feeling, and I think that panic it's real and visceral and completely normal.
That's an irrational nightmare of mine.
Yes, and many people.
I think at least it's not a coffin and it's not underground, a sarcophagus. So that's actually going to be Morana's thoughts. The panic of like, oh my God, I can't, like, I'm encased in this small space.
And you don't know why. And maybe that's even more frightening. You don't, you don't know why.
Sure. But in a irrational, well, it's not even irrational. That's actually a pretty rational.
Quite
fear,
rational.
But anyway, right. In a moment of like panic, she's like, okay, I can breathe. This is good. I can breathe. So I'm not underground and it's stone. That means most likely I'm not buried underground. So I just have to figure out my strength. Maybe I can push this lid off. Like she can rationalize that, okay, this is a sarcophagus, not a wooden coffin.
It occurs to you too that it's interesting that you know that, because as you're trying to think about yourself, these thoughts are coming to you like, oh, you clearly recognize what this is. This is sarcophagus, and you're thinking through that logic. But as you try to think beyond that, you realize there's a lot of empty space when you try to grasp at like why you're here or what you are or the context of this. It's all very foggy, except for those words. To be fair,
I probably won't be thinking about that until I'm out of the sarcophagus.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So for role-playing purposes, I'm not thinking about shit until I can get up.
Get up and out.
And move.
What are you trying to do?
Well, I think I assume I'm recumbent.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you're laying in a peaceful, resting position. Oh, at first.
I mean, immediately I'm going to move in such a way to see if my hands are bound, if I'm wrapped. How much can I move?
Yeah, as you are moving, it's very limited in here, like you were probably laid to rest, and you can't see yourself, but you feel, your hands that, they were laid over your chest in a pretty familiar position, and you can feel clothing, fine materials. You're wearing something ornamental, and then you also have, does Marana wear armor?
I mean,
is it on your character sheet? Basically, yes. This is like you have all of your equipment currently.
Okay, yes, she's wearing breastplate.
Yeah. So describe to me what you look like. Like you're not seeing you're figuring this out, right, as you're feeling your body, but you can go ahead and like assume, colors and stuff. So describe for the audience at home what your character looks like.
Well, I'll say this. I'll give the audience her visual description. She doesn't know what she looks like right now. But for the camera panning over this scene's sake, I will read what I wrote because I had time to actually think about being eloquent. She has white, nearly translucent hair, and her skin is as deep as a winter lake at night, flecked with golden starry freckles. And this is based off of a stock footage photo of Crater Lake in the middle of winter at night.
Yeah. So it's sort of like a blue, like a deep blue hue to your skin with that. Yeah, that
And
dusting
purple
of gold.
and like that
yeah.
deep, like how winter, like snow at night
Yeah.
at dark water can be beyond, it's not black, it's lightless. But then there's the warmth of lights on snow has like that kind of vibe. And then stars can kind of undulate under like indigo and deep violet, kind of that vibe.
Yeah. And you're wearing, you said, plate armor?
Breastplate.
A breastplate, yeah. So you have a heavy sort of decorative breastplate on, and you can't tell this, but it is stamped with a sigil of some kind, like you would see on a noble house. It looks like a red rose that is just starting to wilt at the ends, like adorns your breastplate. What else are you wearing?
It's
Or what
hard
do you
to
have
tell.
with you? Do you have weapons?
Oh, yes. I would imagine that in being buried with my, you are buried like this, but I think also if you're buried with a weapon, you are clutching it.
Yeah. And you also have possessions sort of lining the sides, like like an ancient Egyptian sort of like buried with your possessions. It becomes very clear to you, and again, you're not entirely sure how you know this, but you must be wealthy or have had some kind of status to have all of these possessions and one also be in a sarcophagus of some kind, right?
That seems foggy.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of feeling the last echoing dreamlike conversation that I had with this entity and this like weird dream state of being dead.
Yeah.
So I'm again not really thinking, but for the camera, like I'm not thinking about all this. I feel that I have this like hole in my hand, and I can sense the coldness on either side of my cheeks. It feels like I'm grasping a wide pronged large fork. For everyone's sake, it's a bident, one of Hades' symbols. A two-pronged trident. So I'm clutching that. I can't really tell what it is, but I know it's kind of framing my face in order to fit in the sarcophagus. And I sense that with my elbows moving, that I have bags or things. There's objects next to me. I feel that I am robed with clothes, and I feel the metal of this like breastplate that I'm currently wearing. And I just am gonna desperately want to get the fuck out of this space. So
You start to push. Trying to push against the lid of this thing. Yes.
I'm gonna use the thing that the pole arm that I have, and to see if maybe that can give me some leverage.
Yeah, so immediately, I won't have you roll quite yet. So only roll when I call for rolls, and it is a general rule. And so you push against the stone of this thing, and obviously your fears are probably confirmed immediately, like this thing is heavy. You are in a proper, sarcophagus, probably decorative in nature considering all the things you have with you. It is going to take some doing, and I think the scene sort of closes as you're pushing with all of your might against this thing. And we're going to jump over to our other heroes. Oh my gosh, Tony and Aoife. It has been a long few weeks since you said goodbye to Lou. Since she and Cassie and the family had to basically go underground to start helping people across the empire because things are bad. With Melwyn's takeover, all of her new aggressive policies, the hunt for the Tsarina still rages on. Things are getting worse and worse, just as you probably expected. You have been incredibly busy in this time looking for, leads. At this point, we kind of talked last time about, before you said goodbye to the Tsarina, before she left Coven under the care of Kara and going to the safety of some organization called the Order of the Furies, you had sort of come up with a game plan about what your next steps were, and we had all decided together that the next big thing we had to do was figure out what the heck actually happened to the Corellans and follow up on this mysterious fiend called the Curator, and maybe in the process do something to like figure out what Melwyn Tavir's exact ties are to this creature and these fiends. And there's just a lot of mysteries right now and a lot of trouble. And so a few weeks ago, you know, you set off on your own, and basically right now it's just the two of you. You've been like following up with all of these leads. The Sargina has been sending you lots of like missives and, you know, updates whenever she or her spies can find something. It goes straight to you. Rook is currently not with you because just the sheer volume of information and leads you've been getting. Rook has been following up with some of the less savory characters, and the two of you have basically been going from place to place trying to find some clue of what has been going on. Tell me a little bit about how that's been. Just the two of you without Lou here. Rook is also gone. Everything is a chaos. Well, how's it been?
It's been so hard.
Yeah.
I am not a leader. I don't like doing things on my own. I have a team. I have a plan. We're following someone else's plan most of the time. I relied on Lou so much, I come to realize now that she's gone. And like it just being the two of us, I'm like, what? How do we know where to go next? Like if people weren't telling us what to do with these leads, I'd be like lost. So I think she's just been kind of going through the motions for a while, but is kind of really craving a little slowdown, a second to process everything that's happened in the past few weeks and to like really talk with Aoife.
Yeah, I think Aoife has kind of become used to like taking charge and like spitballing ideas, but without Lou, who is kind of I don't want to say a naysayer, but was like, well, let's think about this. Is that really a great idea?
Kind of morale officer in a lot of ways, I think, too.
Yeah, to be like, all right, let's think about this a little bit more. So I think we're struggling to find that kind of like dynamic now that it's been like so shifted because we're both like
Young,
game for anything.
Impulsive, just a bit. Yeah. Why don't we come up with together? Because I think you've been on a string now. You followed up on at least 3 or 4 leads in the past couple of weeks, and none of them have like turned out to be good. But let's decide together. What was the last like lead you were just on right before following up on this next one? Nassim, why don't you tell me? What did you have to like do? What was like the basic mission that you went on? Like, was it go to this place, fight this thing, find this item? What was the? Just decide, throw out an idea.
I want to say that there have been reports of bandits, probably backed by Melwyn, trying to intercept supplies that other people had been sneaking into Ashtar, or the one that's closed off. Yeah. And we had to go and find out if that was in fact the case or if something else was getting in the way.
Or people just making use of the situation, preying on other people, all the chaos, right? Yeah, because that's absolutely what happens when war rolls in, crime follows shortly after. Yes, so you had gone and you had sent off to investigate these bandits, these new hordes of bandits that were popping up all across like the high roads to Ashtar. This went horribly wrong. Aoife, what was the encounter that just really like almost got you all killed? Tell me about that.
So we're outside of Ashtar, probably skirting along the south side. That kind of begins to border on the Feywalk jungles. It's really marshy. We're having flashbacks to when we were in the swamp.
Oh no, that was a terrible time.
And I think we stumble unexpectedly onto this mercenary ambush, and we end up just it becomes an absolute like brawl, like as these creatures who are native to this like swampy marsh area take this as an opportune time for some easy hunting. So not only are we trying to fight the mercenaries or the bandits, we're also fighting these like large tusked gray creatures
Swamp
with
things,
like
yeah.
scaly
Oh,
armor.
Yep.
And it's bad. It's bloody. We're like waist deep in water. We reek.
Yeah. After fighting off dozens of these bandits, some of them which you only got away in the end because these things finally like got full of eating bandits that you had slayed, and you barely made it out of there alive, bruised, broken, and bloody. But it wasn't all bad, because the Tsarina is trying to send, as much help and assistance as she can. So I think you got some kind of small reward, maybe something, a nice boon, or, a little break, or some money, or maybe something, new equipment. Tell me, Tony, what do you think that was? And you can give yourself like a little reward and just describe it. We can follow up with if it's mechanics or something later, but you did get a little reward at least.
Let's go with gold, because that's always gonna help us in the long run.
Yeah. So the Tsarina, so sorry that lead didn't go anywhere, but she is one of the things she does have still in abundance. She was able to walk away with plenty of her jewelry and stuff to help fund, people, and help like disperse it when she can to help people. So I'll say, you ended up with like a royal brooch or pendant worth probably at least 200 gold, was secretly delivered to you, and you could easily sell that off. So it wasn't all bad, but you barely had time to rest before you got this new lead. And for the first time in a while, it feels like this might be something promising. Apparently, because obviously the Tsarina still has some contacts amongst the Empire, and all of them are keeping a very close eye on Melwyn and trying to figure out what these connections are between fiends, potentially, these rumors of cult activity, and how she might be involved with the curator. And you have learned that a few generations ago, and this is kind of some shady Eldrin Empire history, apparently the Tavirs, which is like Melwyn's, noble family, were able to become one of the core, 4 royal families because of an alliance with another Eldrin noble house that no longer exists to this day, is now pretty much extinct from history. But there was this family that was called, let me make sure I get this right from my notes. This family called the Rothwells. So it was this other Eldrin family that was very prominent, but there were some shady rumors about them. Apparently a lot of their power came from the fact that they were wizards, arcanists, maybe with necromantic ties or diabolical ties. Basically, they were not great people, and in the time since the Tavirs got a lot of help from them, they have been covering up pretty aggressively all history and mention of this now long dead family, trying to cut ties historically to them. But if potentially, maybe there is some secret hidden still in the Tavirs, if they got something from the Rothwells, so the Tsarina has basically let you know the location of the Rothwell crypt, the family crypt, which is, long since, fallen into disrepair and been intentionally forgotten by history. But potentially if you go there and investigate, maybe you can learn something about the Rothwells, or what connection they could possibly have to the Tavirs and potentially Melwyn. And you do know that necropolis was in their old lands, which are now sort of abandoned and have been flattened off the way, sort of east of Ashtar, in that sort of main, it's mostly just farmland now and open space. So you do have a location that you could go to, and potentially something at this crypt, the ruins here, might give you a lead.
Okay.
Excellent. We sally forth.
Yeah. Any thoughts or specific plans or preparations you want to make, or are y'all just like so fucking tired? You're just like, just another thing, just go for it.
Another job, another day, another dollar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another dusty tomb.
we probably do head back to the chicken hut, and since we're kind of close, we're within the same vicinity. We'll be like, take it easy. You can slow down on your way over there.
Yeah.
Cooper.
Luckily, it's just hopefully, the quiet den waiting there for you. So maybe not as much of a time crunch as the last one. Bandits just murdering people on the roads. You had to haul ass, but. Yeah, feeling a little wary. Maybe you take a day or two as you're moving along.
Yeah.
Wait for those bug bites to heal from the swamp. Yeah. How has it been, just the two of you fighting? Because I imagine that's been pretty difficult.
I mean, yeah, I think it's been like a new boot camp.
Yeah.
Of rely a little bit less on the team.
Yeah.
On the she is very much always more defensive of Aoife than anything, but has to be the one to step in and take charge a little bit more, especially since Aoife is so much of a support.
Yeah.
In battles, so Tony's trying to get. I think she is getting a little bit braver to just step forward and charge in before.
Because you have to. There's no one else. Fighting with two is way different than fighting with 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Scarier.
Yeah, I think definitely at night when we've made camp and had food, I think Aoife has definitely asked Tony for some sword lessons, and she has to break out the rapier again.
A lot more these days.
I was like, oh man, it was so great when Luke could just stab people for 30 damage.
I missed that. Oh, our rogue. Yeah, incredible.
What?
Yeah. So, after you get, some rest, you arrive basically at this location that was described to you by the Tsarina, passed along. And the remains of this family, cemetery, sepulcher area is just as bad as you expected. This family has basically been out of commission for 200, 300 years, so a couple generations of eldrin, and again, a big effort has been made to erase their names from history. So as you approach, and the day, of course, is gloomy, rainy, as things have been shifting, autumn has been rolling in. It's been cold. That the heat of summer is officially gone in a big way. The lands have been cast in a gray pallor that is only added to by the despair of all the people around. So here you are in the chill mists that are clinging to you as you're standing in the remains of what was once probably a beautiful and well-kept, manor cemetery. From behind, you can see in the distance, there's very little left of, the manor house that once stood on this hill. But the field of headstones, you can still see them covered by moss and, the growth that has tried to reclaim them. Most of the names have been struck in from them, so nameless corpses in the ground. But the impressive remains of a stone mausoleum are there in the field. Yes, hand raised.
You're saying this place has been defiled?
It looks like somebody has probably smashed all the headstones around. So as you make your way, there are kind of the remains of black iron gates that clearly were smashed through maybe by a cart or angry peasants or something at some point. So there's the black and twisted bars kind of sticking out of the ground weird jagged teeth all around this, and some shattered
names scratched out from the
names that have been chiseled off, or stones that the remains of a statue, right? If it was an angelic figure, the head has been smashed off, or half fallen, maybe 24 or so graves kind of surrounding this now mossy area. You see a couple of the trees that would have provided nice shade to, visiting people are gnarled and black and hanging kind of ominously in the mist, now untended to. And at the center of this all is the very large stone gray remains of a family mausoleum. It's big. It's impressive. In that eldrin way. If all the statuary was intact and everything was, still there, it would be pretty remarkable. But looking at it, it's clear that there's at least one like solid kind of stone entry point, and it's safe to assume because of the relative flatness of the ground that it probably continues down and is buried deeper into the earth, a couple of levels there. But it hangs silently, lost to time, just waiting for someone to remember it.
Chill jolts up Aoife's spine, and she shakes it off of her and takes a moment to anoint her eyes with oil as she casts see invisibility. And she turns to Tony and she's like, who knows what horrors still haunt this place?
Oh, and that line alone gives Tony a chill.
Why did you make this a horror movie, Eva? Damn.
What do you mean? All right. The sooner we're out of here, the better. I think we both agree. Let's get in there.
You say that just as like a crow calls from some unseen place in the distance.
Sorry.
That was really good.
It was good. Way better than mine. Yeah. In the mist somewhere, and as you approach this structure, you can see even the defacement, like somebody clearly tried to take some swords, to scratch it out. The word Rothwell, they can't hide it entirely, is stamped over the entrance. These double doors that you see are carved with a motif of like swirling thorned vines and roses, like two roses intertwined with one another across the doors. And surprisingly, against all odds, these doors seem very much intact and very much still sealed, almost like they are the most like well-preserved and maintained aspect of this entire place. They look a little bit odd, actually, with all of this. And Aoife, what's your passive perception?
Good question. Oh my god, getting used to new character sheet and where things are located.
Yes, it's going to be right in the middle, by where your speeds are, I think, just below.
I never look. That's like that line. I just don't see it for some reason.
Passive perception. Who the hell uses those? Celeste.
Her passive perception is a 19.
Oh, cool.
Jesus Christ.
You're very fucking passively perceptive. So the moment you turned on see invisibility, like nothing, directly caught your vision, but as you are now like looking at the door, moving through, with certainty just on the edges of your vision, there are like silvery shadows drifting through this place. And as you turn to look at them, they're gone, but you are clearly seeing some kind of spirits or ghosts, something, just these wandering shades just on the edge of your vision. Obviously, they can't hurt you because you're not seeing them like full creatures, but these are like,
the veil is thin here.
Yes, the half ghosts, right? Like the beings that are so fractured and fragmented they can't even take the form of full ghosts. But there are restless spirits here, and that chill, that persistent chill that went up your spine, it just continues. Maybe it would have been better if you didn't see them.
All of the hairs raise on her arms and at the back of her neck, and she says, well, I don't see anything yet, but keep your guard up. And you see she now has become accustomed to just putting her hand on her rapier ready to go on the hilt.
Yeah, Tony's shield is out, hand ready on Clive.
All right. The doors stand before you.
Does it look like the roses are sealing it, or?
So it's like carved into the stone, the motif. So it's not
Oh.
actual like thorny vines. But you know, there are the two big like knockers on the door, and you can see there are locks on it. So this door is probably locked, or it might be, I don't know, might be magically preserved or sealed. I mean, considering how much more intact it is versus everything else here. Whoever was like, you know, rabble-rousing and smashing things didn't seem to be able to make it through the door. But y'all are big damn heroes. I'm sure there's something you could probably do.
Yeah, Aoife will start looking at it, assessing like, does it slide? Does it push? How much force can she exert against it?
Yeah, so the doors are very heavy, two stone closed double doors. The locks you're looking at seem pretty simple, like it would be something you could turn, you know, with an iron key. Again, that pang of like loss kind of comes over you as you're like, well, Luke could have like gotten through this in a probably freaking second. But yeah, other than that, the only remarkable things are these are the very heavy stone doors that probably, you know, when you build a structure like this, you want to keep the air inside. So they're heavy, they're tight, and they're sealed. So you can probably force your way through with some doing. Or you could try to pick that lock, or you could try and see if you have a magical solution, something like knock. That might be a good thing to use here.
I don't have anything like that. But I was thinking, what if I... Okay, two ideas. What if I use my pendant from my mother to speak with, or I could cast into... Tell me what makes sense. I want to try and ask, like, the growth in this area to take over the doors and kind of like a sped up deterioration where it kind of grows around the hinges and
breaks
weakens
the stone.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no shortage of like overgrowth and foliage here for you to ask. You could certainly do that.
Yeah, so she'll put her pendant in her hand and touch it and warm it and say her mother's name and ask that
There's like brambles and like twisting vines and stuff all around kind of the base of this thing. Yeah, you can talk to.
all the life that is here surrounding the dead, can you help us access what's locked away behind these doors and unveil these lost stories?
And as you do so, you've used this a few times. So talking to plants is always a little bit different depending on the species. And you remember talking to like the flowers in the Feywild and how sassy they were to you. And then talking versus trees that are ancient and wise and slow. And as you speak to these thorned brambles, you feel a sense of disquiet. It's something about them is wrong as you reach out and you touch them, but they stir immediately to your contact, eager, hungry, almost, for it, in your opinion. And Aoife, you'll see directly, and this is something that you really have not seen happen before, immediately as your friend is using, that mental magic and connecting, you see these vines like perk up and plump with them almost like deep purple, like the color of blood seems to flow through them as they stand to attention. And you hear Tony, the whisper of these things sliding across your mind, as they say, yes, it's been so long. Into the tomb, another soul? Another question?
If there's another soul, we would want to free it.
You enter the tomb, but few leave. But we welcome you. We welcome you and your power. You see the vines begin to like creep up and twist like towards, reaching for like the clasps all around the edge of the door. They seem to be waiting still for something. You feel them like testing you, hungry for something. Maybe more power. They want to see more from you.
I'll cast Entangle but like on the area ahead of us, not in our direct path, and kind of like boost their numbers. Be like, this is take the land back. It is all but crumbled. Make it yours once again.
And there is like a sigh, like of satisfaction that comes from these things as you see more of these brambles twist and sprout from these like long forgotten graves, all either the color of black or like ash or bone white as they sprout and creep across the ground. And you hear them whisper to you in unison, "She is worthy. A soul worthy of the tomb." And there is this crack that comes from the doors as the stone just crumbles. These like thorned vines just rip it down. And as the door just like crumbles down on itself, these black roses bloom from these long dead vines that have remained dormant, scattering your way into the dark.
She will bow and say thank you and like kind of nod to Aoife like, all right, we're worthy. Let's go.
More souls for the tomb, they whisper as you step forward.
I didn't hear that.
You heard it and you hated it. That's the problem with telepathic communication.
Honestly, it makes sense that vines would be creepy.
Yeah, that's their nature.
They literally, I think
Creeps.
some of them are literally
Fucking
called
creeps.
creepers.
Yeah.
They're feeding
Virginia
off of
creepers.
the dead. I mean, yeah.
They've had the company of these spirits and the dead for all this time. You'd be a
As
little
we-
creepy too.
We begin to step into this mausoleum,
Me?
and Aoife, slowly or quietly to Tony, is like, "Can we not take clipping of these flowers? I mean, they're pretty." As she like announces outwards.
Yeah, I think I'm cool with that.
Let's leave them here.
We'll leave them here.
They seem to like it here. And as you step inside, obviously it is extremely dark in here. There are no windows or any other access points. And what you're entering is sort of the visitors' chamber, the offering, like the first level of this place here. You can see that there are like little shelves lining the walls. Places where basically you could store ashes, cremation. You see all of these names and dates all along the walls. There must be, 20 or so people here, each of them stamped with various sigils. Most of them seem to be have some kind of rose motif or something going on. So probably the various branches or factions within a certain family. And there is a grid on the floor here, like a grate, large circular grate that seems to be just this beautiful inset of a rose in the ground, in these gorgeous, various stones tiled down here. And you can see that there are, it's kind of odd. It's like little railways on either side of it that you could turn. It looks like almost like a turnstile to raise this thing out of the ground. Like a screw, something. You've never seen anything like it, but that's what it gives you the impression of.
Like a manhole.
Yeah, it's like a manhole with gilded sort
Part
of
of the grid.
Yeah, things. So two people, by pushing it together, could twist this thing, potentially revealing something below.
Yeah, I think the two of us being on our own, as long as we've been now, we just kind of both know, take the other side, I'll take this side, and start.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to heave and hoe. Clearly, this thing hasn't been activated in a while, so it's a little sticky at first, and there's a puff of dust that comes up as you move. But you finally catch this thing on the track as intended, and as you twist, indeed, you hear the grinding of stone as this beautiful flower, the disc disappears into the side of the wall, revealing a stone spiral staircase that leads down to a lower level. There's a little bit of the ambient light up here that makes it slightly less creepy and has illuminated things, but down there, it is pitch black and silent. Completely silent.
Are there any torches, like out torches within this chamber?
There aren't any, but there are sconces in the wall. So presumably if you brought in torches, you could leave them in the walls, but there are no like unlit torches or anything here. Just brackets going all the way down.
Yeah, Aoife will pull out her wand of magic missiles and cast light on it, and as we descend.
Descend into the dark. So you go down. Feels like a little bit too far as you're like winding down this very tight stone staircase, so you really can't see what it is exactly you're walking into. Marana, how has it been going for you? I think, your initial attempts to push, this isn't going to be easy. So what is the new strategy, you think? But you realize that whatever you are, whatever you are, you're strong. You're pretty strong. But even just your initial push isn't going to be enough here to do it. So what's the new plan?
I think what I'll probably do is, rather than trying to use this pole thing that
you don't feel like you can get quite the right amount of leverage in your small space.
I think just putting together this concept. I'm also learning about my body because, it's like the opposite of this is the opposite of like sleep paralysis.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just try to gather my bits. Sorry, I didn't mean to kick that. Jesus Christ. As I'm literally pantomiming while I'm describing this. She's gonna see how much of her legs that she can kind of like get in a position to push. Yeah. And I think she's going to she understands that she's got very limited range of movement. So she's going to think about it critically and try to find the most ergonomic or physics, whatever, to try to like alley-oop or just really exert,
and luckily you can kind of get like through some wiggling and start moving all the shit that's been like packed in around you. You can get to a point where you can sort of get like your knees like up and your kind of your feet like up against the thing, so you can use sort of that pressure here. And go ahead and give me an athletics check at this point to see how much you can throw at this thing.
Yeah. Okay. All right. First roll, y'all. Oh, yeah. Boy. All right, so athletics. Let me just I'm sorry, I don't have a dice tray, so it's gonna make a noise with my mic.
Oh yeah, the noise is fine. It's more, I love my dice tray because I throw my dice like a chaotic monster into the void.
They need to be contained.
I never see them again. I need to be contained is the real truth.
Oh boy.
First roll. Setting a standard. Woo!
It was a 5.
A 5. All right.
No. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was a 5. No. Sorry, 7.
A 7. Okay, 7. There you go. 7. Something about it. You're like
wake up from the dead.
You're doing everything right, and you can feel that you have an inherent strength within you, but you just can't quite get the leverage you need. But even like with this mighty force, you feel like there's some movement. It's like a scrape.
It shifted.
It's like you felt a shift. You did something, but whatever is on top, I mean, this lid is probably hundreds.
It's a
hundreds
stone.
Of pounds. It's stone. And Tony and Aoife, as you hit what must be like the bottom space here, and you round that final corner, and there's like that blue light, I'm sorry, what color is your light again?
I think she'd keep it like a soft, warm glow.
Yeah, something positive in the midst of this. So nice, like, maybe a rosy hue. As you were looking around here, you see, oh boy, this is like more of a proper, what you might expect from a tomb. As you're looking down here, this large rectangular stone room, there's like 8 of these sarcophagi, just like standing on the center of this floor. All of them just beautifully wrought depictions of people laying to rest, the absolute depictions of how they were in life, depicting knights and nobles, and you scan along the ways here, and you can also see that there are larger panels, like where people are probably buried in the walls. Less important people, obviously, because they don't get the whole like treatment of them, but it is cold and dank and soundless, which makes it incredibly loud. When one of these sarcophagi, you hear a thudding, like a scratching, and the lid shifts. It's like the one closest to you on the right side in that front row.
Oh my god, Aoife clutches her chest and lays a steadying like grip on Tony. He's like, boys and dear, oh my god. By the 7 sisters of Sarah Margaret.
So you're freaking out. Marana, what's your passive perception?
Oh, sorry, I wasn't sure if I was muted.
It's okay. It always
13.
happens. 13. 13. Okay, so you are like as you shift, and you're like in between the way, I think, like trying to rally your strength, for another push. Mm-hmm. You swear that you heard something from outside, but you can't really be sure because the blood is sort of pounding in your ears and like the victory, but
that high-pitched like tinnitus sound when you're under stress.
Right, when you're under stress, but like there was something like sharp and off-key, like a voice or something, but you're not entirely sure. It's hard to hear through whatever stone, and something though in you. You might not be alone.
To make sure, I have that moment of like, okay, I don't have time to hallucinate, like audio hallucinate right now. And so I'm going to put another big effort in trying to push the thing. I'm going to like collect myself and do another fucking push. But like, I'm going to try to really like dial it in.
Yeah, like be like, ugh, with all your strength too. And like the fact there might be someone there. I think that hope, that little spark of hope is starting to rise in you. Why don't you go ahead and roll with advantage for me on that athletics check?
First one is a 10. Second one is an 11 plus 5. So,
I mean, 16.
16.
That's really solid. So as, Aoife, you're like, oh my God.
It's yeah, that's right. Sorry. I don't know what. I'm still getting used to these numbers.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to like really put some effort in.
Put your back into it, and you feel it moves a lot more than it did the first time. Maybe it's still only a couple inches, but like you're making progress. And so as Aoife, you're like, as this is happening, there's another big grind that comes from this thing, and you see it move. It's not hard, but something is in this. Something is in that sarcophagi.
Oh, Lord.
What are you doing, Tony, Aoife, in this moment? It's not happening fast, whatever it is, but there's something in there that is trying to get out.
I think I'm getting my weapon out. I'm standing in front of Aoife. I'm waiting for it to pop out. I'm not going to help it.
Mm-hmm. And one of the benefits, I think, Marana, of the fact that you have now moved this, there is an almost imperceptible, but when you're in a box and highly aware of every second, there's an imperceptible gust of fresh air that comes in. As you realize, like, you've maybe made a corner, like a little corner. You've shifted it enough, and you can hear voices, but they go very quiet I guess, as Aoife and Tony. Are you, like, waiting, or are we hearing anything from the outside?
I think Tony is. She might more. She'll probably hear me draw my weapon and my armor, but I don't think I'm speaking.
I will say, just for the sake of theater of the mind and empathizing with my character, considering the circumstances, I'm not going to trust my senses right now. I'd be like, of course my mind is playing tricks on me. I have to get out of this. Like, I can't rely on the hope that someone else is there. I'm so zeroed in on trying to get this fucking lid off, and it's even just a crack farther so I feel fresh air and don't feel as trapped. Like, this is true, like, singular minded focus.
Ultimate focus. And I think with that too, do you want to try one more time? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna gather my breath and really make another push to fucking try to get out of this.
Okay, roll with advantage again, and your DC is lowered now because you've made a little bit of a crap. So you've made a crap. No, so there's a crack and the seal is like broken on this thing. So
the first one was 3, the second one was 11 again, so that would be another 16.
Okay, yeah, and with this, like, the push and the adrenaline, you make pretty good progress, and, you know, enough, like, the lid moves maybe another, like, 4 inches or so, enough that you could, like, get a hand or, like, a foot out.
I want to say with that last push, while I starting to grunt, and I think at this point, I might be hyperventilating a little bit, and what I would like to think that the two that I don't believe are actually there can hear is me like trying to like not cry, and I'm like, I think maybe even I'm just like, you're okay, you can get out of this, like you can breathe.
So you're hearing this at this point, freely. You can talk to each other what you're hearing on either side.
Aoife's eyes, like, kind of narrow and look to Tony, like, wait?
I mean, the vines did say there was a soul down here. Are you hurt? Are you... who's in there?
Okay, and there's no doubt, Murata, there are people.
Yeah. At this point, it's like, I gasp sharply, and I'm just like, what? Please get me out. I can't. I need out. I need help. Please get me out of here. I can't. Please get me out. And she's just like, I think that is where she's just like, now she's able to keep it together to try to get herself out. And now she's like,
it could be hope. You're not making out. You're not making it up. There are people here.
I need help. I'm like frantic. I think at this is where I kind of start to become a little frantic. And I'm like, I need to get out.
I feel like I can hear the frantic energy.
You can make an insight check if you want to, but I don't think you really need to. I think it's pretty clear. It sounds off the cuff without a check. Like, this is a fucking desperate person in there. They're also, they don't sound like, you know, raspy or weird, like in a way you might expect, I don't know, a ghost or like a skeleton to sound. I don't know.
Tony is gonna, she still has her weapons out, but she's like, okay, we're going to help you, but are you armed? We're gonna put our weapons away. You don't jump out and try anything silly, because we will kick your ass.
What? I'm not. Oh my God. I think I have a pole in my hand. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I have. I feel things around me, and I have a pole in my hand. If I'm armed, I'm not going to use anything. I don't think I'm armed, but I feel a pole in my hand, and I got shit on my side.
Do you want to stick a little foot?
I just want to get out of this.
Do you want to stick a little foot out? Because you could, like, that's your only, like, you know, if you wanted to, like, a little way.
Oh, is it by my feet?
Yeah, it's like, because you've been heaving,
finger.
There, like, with your knees primarily, so, like, you could stick a foot out if you wanted to wave it around.
Yeah, I'll stick my like toe out, and I want to preface this. Whoever touches my foot, I'm gonna cast guidance.
Guidance. Okay, yeah. So you see a little. What are you like boots? Probably. What's your footwear like, Marana?
I guess let me get back to you on that. Just like when you're playing like Skyrim or whatever your like base fucking shit is.
You see like a nice but sensible leather boot, like sort of like a foot like wave kind of in the air, like sort of swirling around as this is happening. That doesn't look terribly frightening. I will say, a silly foot waving in the air.
Yeah.
Aoife looks at Tony and is like, "What would Lou do?"
Lou would help. Lou's trying to help everyone. I mean, I'm gonna help. I just want to make sure we lay some ground rules.
Yeah,
okay.
because you're so tired.
I promise I won't attack. Just can't breathe. Please help me get out of here. I don't want to be in this anymore.
All right. We're coming.
Go help.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you do as being, and I totally, you're like as sensible and as safe as possible. Like you position yourselves, Tony, you're ready to do anything, but like you realize, that this person, the fact that they could even move this like on their own at all, they must be very strong, is one thing. But it takes all of you, like a lot of heave-hoing to get this thing to slide off enough to like actually see the person in here. So you see the description that we said before for Morana. What are you doing? Like as the air finally like, I imagine you only get the sarcophagi lid off like about halfway. Like you don't want to like smash it down onto the floor, but it is more than enough that Marana, you can like sit up and grab your stuff.
I will say, considering like in the state of panic, her coping mechanism is to try to be as logical as possible.
Yeah,
and considering that the people that are helping her, she's gonna make sure that even when she like consciously thinks about this as we're heave-hoing the door a little bit further, she's like, don't sit up too fast, just take a deep breath as soon as you can. And so she does, she stays recumbent when the thing comes, and she announces, okay, I'm going to, and it sounds robotic because she's really, I mean, her adrenaline is so fucking high right now. She so desperately wants to leap out of this, but for the sake of the fact that these
not getting stabbed. It would suck to get up just to be stabbed by moving too fast.
So she's like trying to be really measured and stay calm, but she's struggling. Yeah. Can I sit up now, please?
Yeah, and do you want to describe also, why don't Tony, Aoife, what do you guys look like? What does Marana see right now as
standing over you?
Yeah.
A huge 6'4" female orc with bright green skin that has white spots of vitiligo throughout, and almost in like a mask formation around her eyes that spreads out. She's got like grayed and black salt and peppery hair that's in these braided cornrows down the back with some hardware in it here and there. Mostly black outfit with some light pieces of armor throughout, padded sectional armor, and a couple of swords sheathed, and her shield across her back.
Thick.
Mm-hmm. What do we see Aoife? Are you in your mortal form right now?
Yeah, I'd say so. As we're just tromping around the
you'll know, you'll
realm.
See. But you'll find out. Oh, you'll find out. But you're in your mortal form right now.
Out of character. Pardon.
Yeah, Aoife is holding her wand aloft with this like warm sepia-toned light emanating from it, and she is about 5'3", this young satyr woman. She's got like chin length, semi-curly auburn hair, and her complexion is like brick, and she has these kind of like glowing sort of like golden eyes and these big twisty ram horns, and she is wearing like, she looks like she walked out of a Free People store. Just like layered, like lacy dresses, like draped over her. She's got a huge backpack on her back that's just bursting with stuff, and that's an amalgamation of fabrics and cloths.
Yeah. So you see these two individuals standing over you.
I love it.
Yeah, kind of an odd couple, certainly to look at. And you're seeing, is there are any other details we see about Marana now that, like, you know, that light is hitting her? We can kind of see the objects around her and stuff more. What do we see, like, at your your funeral setup?
Well, I would imagine that I was buried. Oh, God damn it. I had my
Are
list
you
of
naked?
things.
Are you wrapped
No,
in
No.
I
Like
am
buried in
wearing-
full garb, full clothes.
Yeah, I've got just your general underpinnings with a breastplate. Honestly, I think Marana probably doesn't even realize what she's wearing. But
You would be wearing whatever your character likes, without the context of why or whatever, but like that is. So you can choose now in this moment what it is.
oh yeah, just I don't want to say like basic robes, but like
nice,
you know the like
noble-
gambeson,
Yeah, gambeson, sort of. Yeah,
like
so like
your
a fighter,
standard,
like a knight, almost.
yeah, like the shit that makes sense with like wearing armor.
Yeah.
But it's tasteful, well crafted,
Yeah,
refined,
nice materials, not
like
not garish,
elven.
but yeah.
What you would see like in Lord of the Rings, like the way that's like really pretty because it's just simple and well done.
Well made, a little dated. You would note, Aoife,
Probably.
somebody who is into fashion, wearing fashion's maybe a couple 100 years out of date, but nice, recognizable, solid.
Yeah, she's got like a kind of a razor chopped, like very like short enough that it's not going to get tangled, but long enough, you know, that she can kind of tuck it or pin it if she needs to. And that's more for like ritual purposes of like, I don't know, putting effort into your
Practical, yeah.
visage.
Yeah.
Yeah, so her hair is kind of short and choppy, and she's wearing these things, and her bags around her are just essentially just need to be bundled up so that she can get going. And she has this weapon that she did say she was holding a pole of sorts, but I think in her effort to sitting up, she's still hyperventilating and trying to calm down from this like horrible way of waking up. She kind of like probably throws it. She just wants everything off of her.
Yeah, just
So she can, as soon as it's y'all give the thumbs up that she can get up and like is not posing a threat, she wants to get up and like not be encased in anything. So she tosses this pole arm to the side, which ends up being a double-pronged trident, or AKA bident.
a weapon neither of you have probably ever seen before. It's really interesting.
Yeah, Tony takes like a couple big steps back and like has her arm in front of Aoife to like step back with me and just like at the ready, like, what are you doing in here? How did you get in there?
By the way, when I leapt up, I flung the fucking weapon off. Like I got up without grabbing the weapon. It like clanged.
It's just like, it's on me. Yeah.
like it's on me. I gotta get up.
When you wake up under a pile of laundry, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So she's allowing herself to release that fucking panic that she was trying really hard to not succumb to while in the sarcophagus. So you're gonna watch her just fucking deep breathe, calm down, do fucking box breathing, just like finally chill. And she's gonna come back and be aware. She's like, I don't know. Also, who are you?
Yeah.
Like what? Actually, I don't even know why I'm asking that. I don't know what I don't know. I woke up in this and I can't tell you how much I hate being in a small space.
Are you injured?
And she stops to think like, shit, am I? And she's like kind of, you see her pat herself down.
Yep.
She's like, no, I don't think so. I don't feel injured.
Does the name Rothwell mean anything to you?
No. Rothwell?
Rothwell? No.
Rothwell? No. What? What?
As you reach,
Where are we?
yeah, you try to reach back for that memory, or like see if you know, and it's not that you don't know, it's that you go to retrieve it, and it's like there's a fog that's been cast in your mind over it. If you had to guess, it's like something has obscured it, or you can't reach it. It might be there. It's just on the edge of
Maybe. Yeah, it doesn't ring a bell. Like, it's like, I don't know, like the lyrics of a song you heard once, like when you were 5. Yeah, it's probably there. It exists, but like, I don't know. It's not doing anything for me. Rothwell, I have no idea.
Tony wants to take another look at the sarcophagus or whatever it was that she was laying in and see if there was a name on it, any information, dates, something like that.
Yeah, as you look at it, one, you notice immediately the stone carved likeness is identical to the person here. So this was a stone carved image. Intentionally, the sarcophagus was clearly made for this person. And as you look, you see the name on this is scratched out. It's like, but as you look at it, so this is a whaler. You feel sick. You feel sick when you look at it. It's like the letters scrawl across the surface and then disappear. But you could have sworn they were just there, Tony. But they're gone. There's no name left. And it's weird. It's a weird, like, little dreamy kind of moment.
No dates or numbers either.
Whatever text was there. Maybe not, though. I don't know. It's so dark. But there's no text there now.
I think I'm still kind of like getting, I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, to you.
I probably imagine that my body feels different.
You feel sore, like you've been in a small space for a really long time, or like, you know, it feels so good to stretch. It occurs to you that you're hungry. You're desperately hungry and thirsty, and it's almost like waking up from a coma.
I think I'm gonna like see as I see Tony like investigating this. It like does not occur to me to look at this fucking sarcophagus. I hate it, so I don't want to have anything to do with it.
But
I do
does
remember
ask you your name. You remember your name very clearly.
Oh, sure. I'm not thinking about that.
Yeah,
I'm thinking
yeah.
about like, hey, sorry, tall one. If you don't mind, I don't want to make you feel weird, but I need to look at my things that are in here. I'm assuming they're my things, but I'm so thirsty. I hope I have water. And so I'm like not even thinking to ask you for water. I just like I'm singular minded, like I have things and I should see what I have.
And you know you have
I'm
things.
dying of thirst.
Yeah, things you need. That's pretty clear to you. What is Aoife doing? Like, this is such a weird interaction. What has Aoife been doing?
She has been hanging back, as Tony said, and she's just been studying this individual very intently, trying to like really like suss out like, are you being for real?
Yeah.
But as she's like, tall one, can I look through my bag for water?
Yeah.
And she gets the sense more and more that like she is either really playing out this bit for a very long time, or she's being genuine.
There's something genuine. Yeah.
Well,
And so
I'm
she'll-
scared of you guys too. Like that's
Yeah.
why I'm saying like I'm telling you what my movements are because I don't know who the fuck you are.
Yeah.
You did
And
help me
Aoife,
get
you're
out of
reading
this.
that. Like, this person is just
horrible-
as scared and confused in this moment.
I'm just like, look, can I just get this? Please, I don't want to interrupt you. Thank you for getting. So I'm reaching for my bag and it occurred. I'm like, oh, thank you for
And
thank you for helping me.
Aoife will kind of like mosey over and will break out of her bag like a biscuit and will give you just like the tiniest sliver of it. And she's like, I mean, who knows how long you've been in here? Have a wee bit of food, but I can't give you too much because if you haven't eaten for very long, it'll kill you. But I mean, at least give you something to go off of.
Oh my God. Thank you. I kind of pause. Like I am more desperate for water than like that little sliver of food. I'm like, oh yeah, oh my God. And she's just kind of like, yeah, you're right. God, I don't know. I feel like I woke up from like a dream, but that doesn't make sense because if I would just been dreaming, I would have, I don't know. I feel like you can remember before that. Does that make sense? The more that I'm speaking, I'm hearing my voice and my voice sounds weird and everything is very weird. And I am trying not to be horrified right now, particularly because I'm so happy to not be trapped inside of a stone coffin. I don't really know.
While the two of them are having their little interaction, Tony's just making her way to all the other little coffins in this room and seeing if the writings on them are doing the exact same thing.
No. You can see clear names and dates on most of them as you're looking here, you know, and it looks like most of them are labeled with the surname like Rothwell. And it seems in general, most of these people died probably about 200 years ago. 200 to 300 years ago. Some of them have like combined names or hyphens or names you even recognize to today. Like there are a couple Tavirs in here, which sort of tracks with like what you know of this history, why you're here. It seems this person's is the only one that doesn't have a name on it. Are you doing a close examination of her sarcophagus any more than beyond like on the outside the names?
Yeah, I think after I've gathered that information about the other ones, she'll return back to hers and take a look more closer and inside it.
Yeah, as you're like poking around, you know, and Rana, do you eventually get out? It seems like these people aren't.
Well, I've already left out.
Oh yeah.
And then while Tony's investigating, that's when I was like, "Excuse me, tall one, I just want to get my things." And I'm assuming that I found some kind of water. Maybe.
Yeah, it's probably stale.
Does not fucking matter to me.
Yeah, a little gross, but it's so good. I mean, you feel in the sensation. You feel like you haven't drunk anything in so long.
It's like 2 o'clock in the morning and you're hungover. Yeah. It's the sweetest
you're
liquid
like,
on the planet.
Fuck yes.
And then as soon as I quench that, I take the little tiny nibble that Aoife gave me, and I'm like, oh my God. And I almost like feel emotional, where I'm just like, this is, oh my God. And I like look at Aoife and I'm just like, thank you. I'm sorry. I'm really confused and scared. I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you this, but I am very uncomfortable right now. Mm-hmm. And thank you so much for this little food. You're right. I'm glad you didn't give me more because my stomach hurts, but it feels good.
I mean, this place is not the most welcoming, so I definitely understand. Name's Aoife. This is Tony. As she points over to Tony.
I think
He's a little bit like, those are real names. Why'd you do that? What if
she would know?
I think she would
without really thinking.
That's actually canon. Fae recognize other Fae immediately, unless obscured by magic.
Okay. Then never mind.
I think without even hesitating, like it's like I'm not even aware that I don't know what's going on. I'm just like, oh, it's nice to meet you. I'm Morana. And then you're surprises me.
Yeah, right. Like
I'm like,
yeah, I do know
that. Yeah, like you know, like yeah. And you probably see me like,
yeah, the recognition.
I'm Morana.
Yeah, Aoife really doesn't know what to look at you, so her chin is kind of at a tilt. And her eyes narrow as she's really just trying to study you and figure out what the hell is going on.
Mm-hmm. And Tony, on that note, your investigation, as you're looking inside the coffin, you see all of these things like what you would expect, like of a funeral. There's like a funerary pillow and things that have been arranged and like little jars and all kinds of shit that you would expect. As you're like, well, all right. And something catches your eye on the inside of the lid, like on the downside. Something that Marana couldn't see when trapped there in the darkness. There are hundreds of these characters, these dark black sigils that have been painted like from the very top of the to all the way to the feet, so in tiny curling script, and something about them is unnerving and completely unrecognizable as you're looking at them. The hairs on the back of your neck stand up just even looking at them, as they seem to like crawl across the surface. Something magic, something dark, if you had to guess.
Thought I spoke primordial, but I guess not.
It's not primordial, even if you knew. It's what languages do you all speak? What are the weird ones?
Elvish
wanted to-
and Druidic.
Just Sylvan.
Celeste, I wanted to run that by you, by the way,
yeah.
because I think I get one additional language on top of the ones that I have. I haven't picked it. We haven't discussed it. So right now, my brain is too scattered to remember what languages I speak.
Yeah. For you, it'd probably make something like the languages of the gods, so like a celestial or an infernal on the dark side of things. Celestial is the language of gods, including
I do
dark
speak that.
gods. So,
I do speak celestial.
It's not celestial.
Well, I still want to go
yeah.
talk with you about the last one that I didn't pick. But
yeah.
anyway.
It looks like if you were picturing maybe a dark magic circle, this is the kind of shit that would be all over it. Some kind of magic.
Am I, Tony, are you pointing this out to me?
I was about to. I was going to say, did you do this?
So when I go to look, I also, by the way, the fact that this thing was imprisoning me, I'm a bit reluctant to get close. So I'm like, I don't want to get near it, but I'm just kind of looking, like peering, and I see it, and I would like to imagine, Celeste, please correct me if this is out. I don't want to metagame, but like I'm based off of your description, I kind of feel like I would be repulsed.
I think you are. It somehow that this is necromancy. This is necromancy that did it, and you do not like necromancy. It occurs to you. You learn that in that instant. You're like, I am not pleased with this.
We'll put it this way. I'm holding my little cup of water that I downed in like my little canteen. And in my, listen, I'm highly reactive right now. This is high octane. So this is not normal. But I fling my cup at it because I'm just like, oh, Jesus. I was so close to that crap.
And as you splash against it, you can see some of it smudges and washes away because it was written in ash. Every single one of these small, tiny lines, precise painted ash.
I'm going to reactively find, I don't know, I would be willing even to tear some of my robes and smudge the shit out of it. I want to disrupt that.
Yeah.
I'm not even asking. I don't even want to take a moment for anybody to look at it. I'm just, this needs to be gone and fuck this. And there's a level of anger and hatred towards scrubbing this out.
And again, you're not entirely sure how you know this, this act isn't actually erasing whatever magic this was, and you're certain it was magic. The power is gone. It has been expended, but it makes you feel personally better. So it's not like you're interacting with magic, whatever it was is done.
No, this is purely emotional reactivity because I am a raw, exposed nerve right now.
Yeah.
What was that? What are you doing? What does it say?
Look, I don't know what it says, but that was some kind of necromancy, dark. I think she's saying words that like with this level of confidence that it's like okay, look, this is why I don't smoke weed, because to me this is what it's like being fucking high. Like the shit coming out of your mouth, you're just like, what the fuck am I even saying? Like, so she's kind of having this struggle with like telling you this, and she's still feeling very emotional about it because truth be told, she just got zapped back into reality, so everything's real fucking sharp and shiny. And she's just trying to explain, like, this is repulsive. Necromancy is horrible. Like, she kind of calms herself down. She's like, I don't know why necromancy was, I can't believe that was above me. And then she's starting to kind of think, she's like, oh my God, am I undead? And she kind of looks
You're certain you're not. You're not sure why. But you know, if you were undead, you would know it. And something about it occurs to you like, I know what undead are. In fact, I'm supposed to fight them.
I'll say this, actually, at what you're saying, that's my thought process, that I'm kind of speaking aloud. I'm just like, okay, no, I'm not undead. No, I know I'm not undead. Like, she's kind of talking to herself about it. So you're watching this as she's trying to fucking make sense of what's going on. She's like, that was disgusting. I can't believe and she looks back at you too, and she's like, I had to scrub it out.
But as you're talking to yourself, Tony's taking out her light radiant sword.
Just like,
because what do you mean that was some necromancy shit? And you were in here? Okay, Aoife, I've seen enough. This person has been here. I don't know for how long. I think you were that person in that coffin. I don't know what brought you back and for what purpose, but you need to stay the fuck back from us.
What do you brought? And I'm like thinking about this concept of being brought back, because to me,
and like, as this happens too, something comes to you sharp and clear. The words from your dream. Do
I have like a physical reaction to this?
Yeah, I think, as you're like, why you were brought back, it's almost like they're burned, like you see them in red across your mind. You know exactly why you were brought back.
So I'm going to say it's like a sharp thing where I sit down and grab my head, and I'm just like, oh my God.
And Aoife will point her wand with the light at the end of the tip right at the lid of the sarcophagus with your visage embossed in it.
So I can see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good. Oh.
If that isn't your spitting image, what is your name?
My name's Morana. Wait.
You don't recognize that person.
I'm looking at the thing, the image. Honestly, like, you illuminating it doesn't really make sense to me. I'm like, yeah, that's where I was. Like, what the fuck? Like, I see a picture of somebody, but that doesn't mean anything to me.
It means you were dead, and you were inside that for a reason, because you were dead. Holding her radiant sword, I don't know that I can immediately tell that she's not undead, because Lord knows there's magic I don't know about. So
I think what would note to you, you've been wielding this sword for, a couple months now. Something about radiant, undead always react horribly to radiant. They seem to fear the sword. It's like that thing, like Lord of the Rings, when you like pull out glow hammer, right? Like goblins are like, wah! Like has been your response for every undead. Not only does Morana, she seems to have no reaction whatsoever to it.
Honestly, it probably feels good.
Yeah,
like, radiant warmth.
There's none of that like reaction you would expect from creatures of darkness, and you have come to trust that something about this sword as an instrument of the heavenly court does have a very visceral effect. If you wanted to test it, though, one of the best ways to figure out if something is undead is especially put it in the light. Daylight seems to like illuminate a lot of things. It's still day outside. If you really wanted to test it, it does occur to you, if this thing can leave, a tomb and stand in the daylight, in addition to also like having that like standing, having no reaction to a radiant sword.
Yeah, I think Tony's probably just a little bit off put. Is like,
I think that's fair.
Come on, like,
yeah, you're like, hey,
do your thing.
If you wave it around, and she's doing that. There's nothing.
And she's still not reacting. She's like, okay, We're gonna get out of here slowly.
You're making me really uncomfortable. What are you taking
Yeah,
me hostage?
Yeah. It's like holding
Well,
a
we let
toaster
you
up to
out
someone.
first of all. If we wanted to, we would leave you here.
No,
But-
I appreciate that, but also like I look, you know what? I think it would do all of us a favor if we left this horrible I'm so uncomfortable here. It's dark and it's cold. I don't
And
know
it
where I'm
feels
at.
wrong also. It occurs to you there's something here. There's a evil here, Marana, that you're becoming more and more aware of.
Is it something that's going to pique my interest? Or is it going to I'm still figuring out what, I remember what I remember what my shock of purpose is, but like
Someone, yeah, said to you,
is it gonna pique my interest or is it something that I'm like, I need to get the fuck away from this right now?
you feel like where you are and the situation you're in right now, getting out of here would be best.
Okay.
Before something really, you have a creeping sensation that something really bad is about to happen.
Like I'm about to get put back in a sarcophagus.
Also, why don't both Aoife and Marana go ahead and give me some Arcana checks in this moment too, kind of seeing the situation and like figuring out what you know of necromancy and this kind of magic.
And while you're doing that, I'll finish my sentence of I just want to leave this. Like, I would like for us to go together because I'm confused and scared, but I really just want to leave here.
The ground here, there's something evil suffused. The word desecrated comes to mind.
And Aoife will say, Tony, why don't you take her or escort her upstairs? I want to see if there's something I can do about this magic that's lingering here and take down the names of these other sarcophagi. I shan't be more than a minute. And Aoife got a 17 on her Arcana.
Okay. As you're looking like at this place, and obviously this is incredibly suspicious that this person was like in this coffin, and there appears to be some kind of necromantic rite that essentially was written on the inside. But it also occurs to you that necromancy can be used in a variety of ways to preserve bodies or to imprison them or to even like remove or trap souls. Like, that's one of the more nefarious things about it. Not only is it used to bring things back and give them unlife, it's used to suppress, contain, and torture souls. And the fact that this body in here has been so well preserved for so long, and she seems to have no idea, maybe that's what you're looking at. But if that is the case, whoever made this place, whoever did this, might have been some really powerful magic that put this person here and trapped them there. Something like Soul Jar, that spell in particular, if you're familiar with it, comes to mind, or the imprisonment spell. Those are dark ass necromantic rituals that might have affected this person.
Tony still has her sword out, is not like waving it around anymore, but it's like, okay, we're gonna get out of here. Aoife, call out the second you see or hear anything, okay?
Aye.
All right.
Well, wait.
Heh.
What? We all need to leave.
Oh, I'm coming with you, but
We still have something to do here, or I don't know if you're the reason we were told to come here, but we were told to come here for a reason, so you just happened to pop up along the way. So we have to check you out first. Forgive us, but we've been through a lot, especially today. Just step outside with me for a minute, and I'll feel a lot better about this whole situation.
I think so. I don't know how to. I feel a level of panic and sickness at the idea of leaving anyone. Like, I'm so distraught by this like necromancy vibe that I'm like, no, like, and I'm also still very panicked about being like claustrophobic. So I like, remember, raw exposed nerve. So I'm like, why don't, no, like, we shouldn't leave anyone in here alone.
It does.
If you want to
as this-
stay, we can stay.
Yeah. As this thought comes to you too, it occurs to you that if they do intend to stay, which you know is a bad idea on some level, you could probably protect them better than anyone if you stayed here with them.
Okay,
You know you're trained to do that.
as this feeling kind of washes over me, you're starting to I'm sure this is really fucking entertaining and fascinating to watch
Yeah.
as these thoughts
She's
to
like,
solidify. I'm like feeling this, and then I turn to you, Tony, and I'm like, I have to stay here.
To protect you, I think is the thing. Like you can
I
do
have
that.
to stay here. I think I can protect you. I think I can protect. I think I can protect you. If you need to look at things, I want to get out of here, but something tells me I have to be. I cannot leave, and I will be here. If you need to look, that's fine. I will stand here while you look. You can take my weapon. I don't need my weapon. I don't even know what this thing is, but anyway.
And I think
Take whatever you need.
I imagine in this situation, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Tony, it's sort of like you're like trying to usher towards the steps in this person, and perhaps you step on that like bottom step, and you're kind of in the like, should we stay or should we go sort of moment.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to get her out, but when she's seeing her feel this strongly about staying to protect, to help for whatever reason, when you just came out of a coffin, why do you want to stay here? Like, she's gonna put her sword away, be like, clearly this isn't what I'm thinking. I'm still really skeptical, but I'm like, okay, yeah.
And as you continue this conversation, you're all kind of staring at each other. It's almost like that, Spider-Man meme moment. We're all like staring at each other like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
You all begin to hear whispers. Low. So low at first that you're not even sure they're real, but they begin to grow and grow, and until you begin to hear the echoing of words that you can finally understand and pick out of this growing chorus. None may leave. Souls for the tomb. None may leave. You cannot leave. Never. For eternity. All eternity. And it whispers in this growing chorus, and you hear the sliding, the grinding of stone coming from far above you as the way begins to close, and the light that was shining, vaguely from up above is gone, and all you have is that rosy hue from Aoife's wand, enough to illuminate spectral figures that begin to writhe and move in the corners of this room. Faces in the dark. And Marana, you are sure that everything you feared, this was it. They are here. Let's roll some initiative.
Cool, getting buried again. Sick.
All right, let's do this. Okay, 9 for Aoife. Nice. Yeah, we have started, as you can see, Britt, whenever we roll initiative, putting it in the chat, because it's awesome and helps me do the thing. I got you, but...
What did I even say, 15?
Yeah. You're 15.
I'll do it. I'm going to do it just to practice.
Yes, for audience, I got 16 for Tony.
Okay, cool. Nice. So as you are turning around and hearing this like unearthly chorus, from literal the depths of hell, you see ghosts of these eldrin people in armor flying around you, and this growing swarm of specters comes in as one of them manifests like directly in front of you, Tony, and you see this like the rotting face of like an eldrin noble that seems to have like a sword stabbed through their chest, like appears before you, barely illuminated in the dark, and reaches in and tries to just shove a spectral hand through your chest, and you feel cold as something unearthly reaches into you. Let's see if it can get a hold of you.
Wait a
Withering touch.
Wait a second. Well, I was just looking. Oh, no, never mind. Please disregard.
Yeah. So the first one you managed to like kind of dance out of the way of this thing as it's like trying to grasp at you and reach past through your armor. But the second one with a 17, is that going to hit you?
Is my shield out?
I think you said you put away your weapons when you were talking to Marana, so I'm going to say no.
I think an equal number hits me, yeah? Because that's a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it meets, it
17.
beats. All right.
Yep.
So in this moment here, as this thing, like the first one, you're like, nope, nope, nope. But the second one just right through your armor, and you feel its cold hands writhe around in your chest, gripping your heart, which suddenly turns to ice. As you are taking 18 necrotic damage, you feel the life literally being sucked from your body by this horrific, awful thing. And then we are going to go ahead and move down. Tony, you get a chance to respond. It seems like 2 of these ghosts here are like leading the pack, but you can see it's just a matter of time until this storm of these things, which is gathering around. You can see them lifting out of all of the other sarcophagi here in this place. So 7 ghosts, but only 2 for now, if you can suppress them.
Well, out the gate, here come my shield and now my radiant longsword.
Let's do it.
And let's see if this radiant sword does the deed. Oh, okay. Whoa, is it really? 21?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a magic sword, so it's doing great with radiant damage,
Yeah.
so roll your shit.
Wow. Okay.
It's nice to be a TOV fighter, baby. And a weapon master, so that's your new subclass, everybody. So good. It's good to hit.
So okay. So 11 regular damage and then 8 radiant damage.
Yeah, so your sword flashes in the dark as this is happening, and it's taking all of that damage because this is a magic weapon, as it cuts through almost like this thing was made of flesh. And in this moment, Marana, you realize these are pretty capable people that can take down undead. Seems like your kind of people. That idea passes over your mind. Do you have a second attack for me?
I sure do. It's called a multi-attack now.
Oh, come at me. Multi-attack, because that makes sense. That's how it is for monsters.
Ooh, that
And
was
you
a
can-
natural 20.
Oh.
So baby crits.
Oh,
Baby crits.
Lord, tell
I
me.
think I like TOV.
Ooh, tell me all about it.
Ooh. Okay, so now we're going with where'd it go? This guy.
TLV is nice. I'm extremely biased as the lead designer of the game, but yeah. Deal with it.
9, 15 slashing damage or regular damage. I'm not really even sure.
Ooh.
But then with our radiant damage, that's just an extra dice, right? It's not 4 dice.
Correct. No, you'll roll all of it, all of the extra, because you get an extra 2d8 of radiant damage. So with a crit, that'll become 48. I know. It's good to be good.
$14 radiant damage.
Oh, honey. This seems to be particularly effective as well. So these undead appear to be vulnerable to radiant damage. So you're cleaving through these ghosts, but this thing, I mean, it's still got its hand in your chest at this point as you slash through it. Ah! Like an unearthly, hellish scream as it pulls back, and you can see its body is sort of like almost unraveling in front of you, but it hovers in the air, and as you peer into the empty sockets of its eyes, it is nothing but hatred and dread, and is still persisting. Anything else for you?
Yeah, fuck it. I've had a long day and I need it
Fuck
to be
it.
done.
Yes.
I'm gonna action surge.
Yes. Blast this ghost.
Blast you with my fucking radiant sword. Okay, that's 18.
Yeah, 18. Yes, absolutely. Bring the pain.
I bring the light. Giver of light. That's 10 damage.
Oh.
And then another.
What are you? Yes. Okay. 10. Ooh, that was 10
This is the radiant damage.
Oh.
It is 5 more radiant damage.
How would you like to fucking destroy a ghost? I'm sorry, you just went through an entire fucking 68 hit points. How'd that feel?
That felt very good. I think
What does it look
sword,
like?
The sword gets brighter and brighter with every hit. It's it's powering up. So I think part of that is just like, oh, I see my path. It's right in front of me, and the sword just it guides itself like butter through, like cutting this ghost into ribbons.
Yeah. This sword was meant for this, and actually that occurs to you as you're like, here is the full power.
Yes.
Ooh.
It dances through the ghostly flesh.
Yes. And Marana, as this is happening, something sings in you. This speaks to you. Yes, this is what we're here. This is what you were meant to do and see and fight beside. You remember that. Anything else for you as you slice a ghost to ribbons?
I guess I have another multi-attack because I action surged. Mm-hmm. Right?
So there is currently one other ghost here, and this one you see is appears to be like probably a noble woman of some kind. She's sort of staggering like in between these two, and you realize she's got this like huge slash across her neck. Her head is sort of flopping in a very unpleasant way.
Don't mind if I finish the job then.
That cut all the way through, please.
That's a 24 to hit.
Oh, baby.
This motherfucker right here. This motherfucker's what I've been waiting for.
Yes.
Oh, but that was a very sad bit of damage. That was only, well, I guess even with the +6, that's 8 damage.
Nice. That's still solid.
And then my radiant damage is another 7 radiant damage.
Oof, doubling that.
Sexy.
That ain't too bad, kid. So as we wrap up your turn, you're like slicing through ghosts. You see, so one is down. You do a serious hit to another, and another like seems to manifest in its place. As you see, like a doddering old man who like raises in front of his face 2 short swords that come down at his sides, and he begins to run very quick, like Naruto style, towards you, Marana, as it becomes your turn. 2 ghosts on the field, many more surrounding you.
These are ghosts, not like zombies, essentially.
Yeah, they definitely appear to be ghosts.
Got it. Man, something about this feels very weird.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me want to check the graves after we're done. Because I want to know if these souls are bound here. And they shouldn't be.
Would think so. This whole place, because you're getting the sense unhallowed, desecrated. Yeah. That means that
they're
whatever was done here
against their will.
Not necessarily. This is maybe this whole place is starting to stink. You're getting a really bad feeling about whatever this family did here.
That my fucking face is now a part of. Great. You know what? I'm gonna banish that thought for the moment because
no time as ghosts are swarming around you. What are you doing?
This motherfucker running at me, and I think I'm going to cast. Well, I don't know if cast is the right word, but the profane. Turn the profane.
Yeah, your channel divinity.
Yeah, turn the profane. So action.
So this is your big cleric fucking class feature. So turn the profane.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah. I don't even know how I know where my holy symbol is. I do want to follow up with you on what my holy symbol looks like.
You decide right now.
Well, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be a basic bitch, but like Hades, if you Google Hades symbol, it looks like there's like a half circle with a dot in the middle and like kind of an upside down cross at the bottom of it.
Sure. Yeah, and what is it like on a pendant around your neck or like in a pocket or like emblazoned on something you have?
That's something that I forgot to mention. I think I may have added it on my character portrait that I wanted to send to Katie. It's actually like in my skin.
Okay. So what happens is as you're looking around and it occurs to you that something you need isn't here. And then you feel it. You feel something appear on your face. And I think all of you will see directly as this like golden sigil appears in this moment. That thing you needed and didn't have comes to you as your power awakens.
I don't know if there's probably some kind of Sailor Moon like thing that's happening.
Oh, you can describe. I mean, yeah, what does your channel divinity look like? You're turning the profane, which means like, not today! Like as these things are getting blasted, you know?
Give it to us.
We'll put it this way. It's probably kind of awkward right now. She hasn't gone through the movements before, and she's just like, kind of like,
no, but you have.
This, like,
you this body may not have, but you have. And as you do it, it's a familiar thing. I think that comes back to you.
It's a little janky as she's like getting back on the bike.
Yeah.
We'll put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah. So she's just like, and then she's like, she does her thing. And she actually, in the swift movement of like it becoming her turn, she picked up her bident. And in that part of that process is stamping it down, kind of confrontationally. Yeah. Like Gandalf with his staff. So she slams that down, and then her holy symbol illuminates underneath her eye. Honestly, think of like a really well-placed, like, teardrop tattoo. I hate to say that. Like, cool, I want to follow up on that later. Look, I don't support these for everybody, but this is fantasy, okay? So I'll get on that soapbox later. So that illuminates, and it just fucking erupts from her. It sounds like a really interesting thing.
Yeah, I think you're maybe you're 30. Oh my god. I think you're even surprised as like the force and intensity, this golden fucking wave of light comes out of you and like almost blind all of you, you know, Tony and Eve, you're like, oh god, like as this comes out, and you hear screams, just hideous, horrible screams of pain coming from these ghosts as they are driven back. You see like being punched with force, like as if they were never immaterial at all, as they are being pushed and shoved away from this like ambient glow that like comes out of this person who just woke up in this tomb. And you hear them screaming and writhing with rage as they can't move closer. It's like they're pinned to the walls, just like, you know, chomping at the bit, like as you see, you know, picture like fucking cannibals or something, like just on the edge, like, good god, we want to eat you, but they can't pass by this bright fucking light emerging from your friend who has now this glowing sigil. It's holy shit, literally is happening right now. So that was your action, I believe, right? For that channel divinity.
I would like to cast a bonus action.
Do it.
What is this?
Do it.
What is it? Being a fucking cleric. I want to cast divine favor on my fucking bident.
Yeah. What does that do? What does that look like?
In the process of turning the profane, everything, I'm gonna imagine everything's like a prayer for me. They're just like calling upon my fucking deity. And my prayer empowers me with divine radiance. Until the spell ends, my weapon attacks deal an extra 1d4 radiant damage on a hit. So in the process of slamming that bident down, I'm like, oh shit, this is my weapon.
Oh yes, it is your weapon. And I get
boopity booped activated. And here we are. I'm just like, that shit starts to glow after my sigil illuminates itself on my face. And I'm just like, this is what I'm here for, bitches. I don't know what's going on, but I'm here for it. I told you I want to protect you, and here we are.
Yeah. If you are amenable, and as you're saying, maybe, or speaking a prayer, or even if it's just mental, I think the name Hades comes across, you know, and like your name, you're like your own name. It surprises you and rings true.
Oh,
and it rings so true to what you are and what you know. You don't know how you know it, but you know this, if nothing else. And that same sigil, like as you cast that spell, shines between the forks, you know, of your bident, like stamped in the air.
Oh, hell yeah. Love that.
As that light comes to you, the shining warrior in the dark.
fucking love it. Also, like, it's like I know who Hades is as a deity. Like, I've existed on the planet, but it's all foggy, and I'm like, wait, I have a thing with Hades. Like, Hades is
like,
important.
That's the name. That's the only name that has ever mattered. It's certainly the moment you speak it. It rings so true in your heart.
Having a moment.
Holy shit. Okay, so the ghosts are back and they are like, this would be a good time to make an exit if Aoife, as we come to your turn, if there's something you can do to perhaps make a distraction or move things along, like a final note that will allow you all to exit swiftly or get this door open, something, I recommend doing so now.
Considering that Morana has been in a tomb for God's only knows how long, she thinks she might have a hard time running quickly.
Yes.
And so she will reach out a hand to her, as she's been protecting us with her powerful magics, and will cast haste upon you so that your movement speed is doubled, and you have a bonus to your AC and advantage on deck saves.
Hell yeah. What does your haste look like? What does Morana see? Because she's also meeting you for the first time, dear caster. So what's your impression?
So around you, these like bubbles of thread, kind of like spectral bubbles of thread, like form a circle around you, and you see these strings of arcane light like bouncing between them as they cast this like aura over you, and you feel invigorated.
Yeah.
Love it.
As this happens, and I think, in this moment, because out of, game, I don't want this combat to go any longer. We've got to get out of here. Sure. I think, like, with this and, like, the combined, because your Turn the Profane has these things back, you are feeling full of energy, Morana, from your allies here, but also this feeling now, this certainty that this is exactly where you are supposed to be, and these are the people you're supposed to be with. It is all becoming clear. You don't know the answers, the why, but the why has never mattered, because Hades has always been there at the beginning and the end of everything.
I think I subconsciously uttered Hades, and it shocked sense into me, and I'm like, I don't have to understand it, but I respect it.
Yep. It is time for you to go.
Yeah, we gotta get the fuck out of here.
This place is not for you. This place was a means to an end. A horrible place. Leave it and go. Go to your destiny.
I'm gonna make a mental note that I'm gonna want to come back to it, though.
Fix this shit later.
Yeah.
Hallow this ground. Not now.
Yeah.
Now is not
the time. Get the fuck out of here. Let's go.
Yeah. So with that haste, I mean, you are like feeling superhuman from this. You could run up the steps. I don't know, you strong boy. You want to like just slam through this fucking stone thing I was trying to cover. Yeah, it's like cinematically. Here we go. Right now, like you're holding back the ghosts and like
I'm holding the ghosts with my bident, Gandalf style. I'm assuming that Tony and Aoife are Aoife. God damn it. I will get this. I will get this.
It was hard for me too. Yeah. It's Aoife and Saya. There's always one.
We just met. It's cool.
Tony and Aoife will probably like kind of gather what the fuck's going on and work on getting the door open. I'm going to hold off the ghosts. I have to like stay.
Yeah, in this moment, let's cinematically, what are we all doing to get the fuck out of here?
I'm Balrogging it, boo-boo. I said none shall pass.
And Tony and Aoife, what are you doing as Balragging it is happening?
Expeditious retreat. I can use it.
Get the fuck out of here.
Good spell. That's such a good spell.
It is such an underrated, so underrated. And better in TOV because we combined it with a bunch of other spells. Longstrider and Expeditious Retreat became one epic spell. Hell yeah. So yeah, you're running the fuck out of there, Tony, and you get to that stone thing. I imagine probably, oh man, a good hit from your sword. That thing doesn't stand a fucking chance. You and Aoife, what are you doing as you're making your way like up the stairs? Your companion is holding it back. You hear Tony slamming up on the top of the thing.
Yeah, Aoife, reaches out with words of encouragement to Tony to basically to imbue her with the strength to get us out of here. And as like she sees like curious ghosts like coming in from the sides, and she just zaps them with her wand of magic missiles.
Yeah. Pew, pew. As they're coming in, you're like, not today. And eventually, it's like, Marana. And you feel the time is good. Your companions are here. The way is clear. Do you exit this place, Marana?
Yes.
You were never supposed to be here. You know
as
that.
soon as they're good, they clear it out. I got, I'm like,
gotta go.
Bye, bitches. And I don't know, I fart while I'm running. Like,
get it out of here. Leave it.
Yum.
So you all make your way up. You blast through. You shatter that rose like thing that was holding you back, and step your way out into the light. It is still misty and foggy, but you can feel, as you run past like these shattered stones and this ancient history and this dark, evil memory that never should have been. That never should have been. You make it finally to the edge of this place, and that feeling, that oppressive feeling that you hadn't all realized was just growing and growing and growing the longer you spent in that place begins to lift. And you see the sky, the clouds finally part, and like a crack of sunlight finally hits your face. And Marana, for the first time you're sure it's been a long time, you're not sure how long, you feel warm. The warmth of life, the warmth of a future. Things are different now. Like you said, you remember the words. You have another chance, but it is your last chance.
It's all coming back. It's all coming back to me now.
And as, Marana, you're taking this in, and Tony and Aoife, you're so much has happened in this moment. Aoife, with your fucking 19, passive perception, which is ridiculous. You're like, catching your breath, looking around. You can see just on the other side of the gate that you just exited, like just the faintest outline of a floating specter. It looks different though. It's different than the ones below. It's a woman in white, sort of floating there. And again, because the light is cracking through and the mist is like, she's barely there, but she's clutching something, a book in her arms. And as you turn and you see her, I don't think anybody else notices her. She's so faint, almost not there. She holds it to you desperately, like with the last of her strength, trying to give this to you.
Yeah, Aoife graciously accepts it and says, "May you find peace in your next life."
Yeah, and as you take it, this misty kind of apparition of this book, it touches your fingertips. It feels suddenly heavy and solid and real, as a real book what falls into your hands, and you blink your eyes, and as the sun crests over in that beam, it's gone. The figure is gone. But this book is very real in your hands as you're looking at this like bound, almost like flesh-colored leather on its surface, and that scrawl, those strange glyphs from before across the surface. Something here took everything it had to get this to you. Maybe this lead was a lot more than was promised. And as you look at each other all in the sunlight, something new has started. But that's where we're going to end for today. This episode, our first episode of autumn. We did it. We're here, you guys.
That was so much fun.
It was so great.
Holy
It's
shit.
so
fun being reintroduced to
Yay.
like having a history of playing with you guys, and
Yeah.
I'm new in town.
Hey, how I do around here. Yeah, that was so cool. We got to see just, you know, a little taste of what we can expect from our new TOV characters. You know, a little bit about Marana, some fucking mysterious origin. How you feeling, Brittany? I threw you into the deep end. I think you handled it pretty well, but how are you feeling?
Oh no, I feel good. It's also I'm like shit. I don't know. It's honestly really easy when you're like, I don't know what's going on. I literally don't know.
It's good. You've been, thrown. And what's fun about this, too, and, like, you know, going to be a challenge, I think, is because the gods were, like, gone for a while. They're just starting to come back and crawl back, and so are their clerics. So, you know, telling that story is going to be interesting. But...
Oh, my God. I'm sorry. What you gave me with my sarcophagus epitaph or whatever the fuck. Okay. I'm interested.
Oh yeah.
What the hell?
There's some mysteries. How you guys doing? Nasib, Sage, how you feeling? How's autumn treating you? Day one.
We love a spoopy vibe.
Spoop.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
We
Got
gotta
to use
start.
so much of my druidness and spells, and so much of my, you know, special attacks.
Dude, and this is
New
just a
fancy
little
sword.
taste. We haven't even
got
seen the
the-
full thing. I can't wait to throw a full ass fight at you guys to see. And we will definitely, you know, when we get into the thick of it, see some of these cool ass TOV tricks we got up our sleeve. But
Yeah.
I'm fucking excited. I'm fucking excited.
Excited.
Me
It's so
too.
great to have Brittany back.
Yes.
Hey, same. I missed you guys.
1000%.
Mm.
OG crew back together.
I'm just so fucking stoked. Fate is so funny. Yeah, it's so funny. Oh, favor. Yes. But that's it. That's all we got for you. This is the first episode of Autumn. Many more to come. So before we sign off, though, of course, we always like to take some time to say a huge thank you to our Patreon donors. We like to call out specifically our highest tier donors. You all, times are tough, and the fact that you all show up and donate to us on Patreon monthly, it means the world to us. Like, you are our only source of income on the show, and we love you. So the people who choose to donate, even as little as $1 a month, like, it really makes all the difference in the world. So thank you guys. So let's go around the horn here and take some turns saying a big ol' thank yous to our Patreon donors. So I'll start things off to our Arnie's cohorts tier. Thank you so much, Muffin, the OG, the beautiful Muffin Man, at the one on Drury Lynn, on social media everywhere. Thank you.
Are we doing this in order of?
Yes, in order of
Okay.
the
Yes.
intros. Yes, to keep things easy.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Nisa McKinnon. Thank you, mucho.
Thank you, Tony.
Tony, you know. Tony to Tony.
Hey.
And Chris, what's up? A huge thank you to you.
Oh, and for our fairest drinking mate tier, thank you so much, Fable.
Also, from a fellow
Oh
Brittany.
my god. How did it work
Thank
out?
you.
Did you do this, Sage? Did you rearrange them to do this? Your
I
trickery.
did.
Oh.
Your trickery. The Fae.
I
The
spell
Fae
mine
being
differently.
trickies.
Brittany says thank you to Brittany.
Oh, thank you, Markali.
And thank you to Noon from our Discord server.
Thank you so much, Brim.
And thank you, Steven.
You all are wonderful. You light up our lives.
we have one more.
Oh, wait.
Wait, there's one
did I not
more.
scroll down?
Thank
Wait,
you.
Oh, that's such a good name.
Wait.
I had once more. Don't worry, I got it. Thank you so much, Cinnamon Toast Punch. Last but certainly not least.
I can't see it on my Zoom window. I don't know why, but Cinnamon, I love you. Thank you. You're delicious. You delicious beings. Yes, thank you all. Thank you all, you wonderful humans. Thank you for being here. We have so much fun, and it's all because of you. So yeah, can't fucking wait to see what happens next time, guys. But yeah, until then, I've been your game master, Celeste Konowich.
I have been your confused and reawoken eldrin cleric, Morana.
That's true.
And I have been your real mama bear this time. Orc fighter druid, Tony.
And I'm Sage, and I was your scaredy cat satyr bard, Aoife Flannery.
Nah, y'all were great. Y'all
You
were
were so
great.
sweet. You fed me.
Sweet as heck. Your biscuit, babe. Aoife Flannery. But yeah, that's it. That's all we got for you. So until next time, everybody. Venture away! Venture away, everybody.
Happy fall.